Imagine for a moment that everything you know, the device you're watching this on, the room around you, even your own thoughts and memories, isn't actually real in the way you've always assumed. Instead, picture all of it as an incredibly sophisticated simulation, much like a hyper-advanced version of The Sims or Minecraft. Welcome to the wild world of the simulation hypothesis. This mind-bending idea, popularized by philosopher Nick Bostrom in 2003, suggests that our entire universe, including us, could be an elaborate computer simulation created by an advanced civilization. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, some of the world's top scientists and tech leaders, including Elon Musk, argue it might just be our reality. But how could this possibly be true? Let's break it down. Technological progress. Look at how far our own computer simulations have come in just a few decades. From Pong, a simple two-dimensional table tennis game, to photorealistic virtual reality games that can immerse you in fantastically detailed worlds. We've made incredible leaps. Now imagine where technology might be in 1,000 years, or even 1,000,000 years. It's not hard to conceive that creating a fully immersive, universe-scale simulation might be possible for a civilization that has advanced far beyond our current level. For instance, think about the progress in artificial intelligence, graphics, and computational power. Every year, our ability to simulate reality improves. Consider the vast, complex worlds in games like Grand Theft Auto, or the incredible detail in movies created with CGI. Now, extend this trend far into the future. A super advanced civilization might be able to simulate not just a small game world, but an entire universe, complete with conscious beings. The substrate independence thesis. This philosophical idea suggests that consciousness doesn't depend on biology. In other words, a mind could theoretically arise from any sufficiently complex information processing system, not just a biological brain. If this is true, our consciousness could be running on futuristic computer hardware rather than on biological neurons. Think about it this way. Our brains are incredibly complex networks of neurons processing information. If we could recreate this network with silicon chips or some other advanced technology, in theory, we could recreate the mind. This means that what we perceive as our thoughts, feelings, and experiences could be the result of computations happening on a supercomputer. The ancestor simulation argument. Bostrom argues that if a civilization reaches a post-human stage where they can create ancestor simulations, detailed simulations of their predecessors, they would likely create many such simulations. If that's the case, simulated realities would vastly outnumber the one base reality. Therefore, statistically speaking, it's more likely that we are in one of the many simulations rather than the one base reality. Imagine an advanced civilization wanting to understand its own history. They might create numerous detailed simulations of their ancestors to see how different variables affect outcomes. If they create millions or even billions of such simulations, then the odds of us being in the original base reality are incredibly small. Quantum mechanics and simulation. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics, like the observer effect, where particles only take on definite properties when observed, bear a striking resemblance to how video games render only what the player can see to save processing power. Could our reality work the same way? In video games, what you see on the screen is only a small part of the game world that gets rendered in detail. The rest exists in a more abstract form until you move your character there. Some physicists suggest that the universe might work in a similar way. The idea is that particles exist in a state of probability until they are observed. This could be a way to conserve computational resources in a simulation, much like a video game engine does. The fine-tuned universe. Scientists have long puzzled over why the fundamental constants of our universe seem perfectly tuned for life. If any of these constants were even slightly different, life as we know it wouldn't exist. If we're in a simulation, this fine-tuning could simply be the parameters set by the programmers. Think of it like adjusting the settings in a game to create the perfect environment for the characters to thrive. The idea is that our universe's physical laws and constants are set in such a precise way that it almost seems intentional, as if someone carefully chose the settings to allow life to develop and flourish. But hold on, you might be thinking, this is crazy talk. I can feel, think, and experience. How could this all be a simulation? Well, consider this. In your dreams, you experience a full reality that feels completely real until you wake up. Our simulated reality could be just as convincing. Dreams are a great example of how our minds can create entire worlds that feel real. When you're dreaming, you don't usually realize it's a dream. Everything feels vivid and logical. Similarly, if we were in a simulation, it could be so detailed and well constructed that we would have no way of knowing. Now, before you start having an existential crisis, it's important to note that even if we are in a simulation, it doesn't necessarily change the meaning or value of our experiences. Whether we're made of atoms or bits, our thoughts, feelings, and relationships are still real to us. The fact that our experiences feel real and have real emotional impacts is what truly matters. Whether the underlying structure is biological or digital doesn't change the fact that love, happiness, sorrow, and all the human experiences are genuine. But if we are in a simulation, could we ever know for sure? Some scientists propose that we might find glitches in our reality, like inconsistencies in the laws of physics. Others suggest that we might hit computational limits as we probe deeper into the nature of our universe. For example, we might discover anomalies that don't fit with our current understanding of physics, or we might encounter limits to how much we can understand about the universe, hinting at an underlying computational framework. Imagine discovering an unexplainable phenomenon that behaves like a bug in the code of our universe. Critics of the simulation hypothesis argue that it's unfalsifiable. We can't prove or disprove it, making it more philosophy than science. Others point out that simulating an entire universe would require unimaginable amounts of computing power, perhaps more than could ever exist. The argument against the simulation hypothesis is that it may be impossible to test or observe in a scientific manner, making it more speculative than empirical. Moreover, the sheer scale of simulating an entire universe with every detail intact could be beyond the reach of any conceivable technology. So, are we living in a computer program? The honest answer is, we don't know. But the very possibility forces us to question the nature of reality, consciousness, and our place in the universe, or multiverse, or computer, depending on your perspective. The simulation hypothesis challenges us to rethink our understanding of existence and what it means to be conscious. It opens up fascinating discussions about the nature of reality and our place within it, regardless of whether it's real or simulated. Whether we're in base reality or a simulation, one thing's for sure. The universe is far stranger and more wonderful than we could have ever imagined. And hey, if we are in a simulation, let's hope the programmers don't hit the delete button anytime soon. What do you think? Are we living in the Matrix? Or is reality exactly what it seems? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're a super advanced AI running this simulation and you're watching this video, please don't turn us off. We're having fun down here. Until next time, keep questioning reality. And remember, in this world or any simulated one, you're awesome.